Hi, this is Russ, and I'm here. I'm not alone. I'm just without Jeff. I'm here with Rachel. It's Russ and Rachel. This is the
Yay.
Russ and Rachel Mass Effect Power Hour,
Ooh,
but
I
not
like
an
it.
hour because I
10
don't think I could
minutes.
talk about Mass Effect, even Mass Effect, for an hour.
I don't know. We could try.
I mean, we could try certainly. So Mass Effect was the first RPG that I played that wasn't like a JRPG. Truly,
Oh, wow. That's pretty impressive.
isn't that impressive? I
Yeah.
mean, it came out in what, like 2007 or something.
I think so.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think I was out of college and I was working for the first time and I had nothing to do at night. And I was just like, I'm going to play this shooter game that
Yeah.
has pretty people in it.
Yeah, I got introduced to it. Like, I had played KOTOR, like, on my own.
Okay.
And I had played Jade Region. And, yeah, like, in college, my friends had an Xbox 360, which I didn't have. I'm a PlayStation person.
Mhm.
But I saw them playing it, and I was like, ooh, wait, you get to build relationships kind of like the other games, but,
Yeah.
like, you can actually see their faces. They're not
Yeah.
all pixely.
Right.
And, there's some diversity in here. Not just kind of like streamlined, like here's the straight character for the girls and here's the straight character for the guys.
Yeah.
Like there were options. So
And there was some diversity. There's a sexy alien
there is
lady
a
race.
sexy alien for everyone.
There really is. One of my favorite lines is from Mass Effect 2. One of my favorite conversations. It's a human, a Turian, and a Solarian having a conversation at a club.
Yeah.
And talking about the Asari. And
It's like
how
a bachelor party, right?
Yeah, it is a bachelor party. And there's like an Asari dancing on a table. And then they're all like, oh, the Asari looks like me. And the other guys are like, what?
Yeah. Yep. Everyone realizes that the Asari look however you look.
Exactly.
Like what's sexy to you?
Yeah.
That's the same bar that has the really like the gruff Krogan
Yes.
Asari. Yeah, she's awesome.
I
She's
love
my
the
favorite.
Gruff Krogan Asari. We're just having a private conversation
Yep.
between the two of us.
Yes, yeah.
Not explaining. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So Mass Effect, for those who don't know, is a series in space, and it takes place about 100 years in the future, or longer than that. I think closer to 200 years in the future.
Yeah, closer to 200.
And yeah, and humans are spacefaring, and they meet all these other alien races that are already spacefaring.
Yeah, technology got jumped ahead super far because we found what they're called Prothean. It's like an alien artifact that like taught us how to jump to light speed, basically.
Yes.
We found it on Mars.
We did
right?
find it on Mars. Yeah.
So yeah, suddenly
then
there's a navy in space.
Right, and we jumped into space, and the first thing that happened is we were attacked by Turians,
Yep.
who are dinosaur people.
Yeah.
They evolved from birds.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and therefore dinosaurs.
And somehow we held our own
We did.
against
We did
like
apparently.
a really like evolved race.
Yeah.
That knows what space
Because
is
we're
like.
humans and we're special. Like,
Yes.
that's what's going to happen. Like, as Americans, we think we're special. And then once we become a global, or not a global, but like a intergalactic civilization, we're going to think we're special.
Yeah, they kind of do like, I don't want to say the Star Trek thing where like, Earth is at peace and like everyone's like
Yeah.
working together now, but there's still like there is
Yeah.
Canada, there is America, but
There is. And there's still racism. It's
Yeah.
just that there's racism against aliens.
Yeah, now it's
instead of
space
skin
racism.
color. Yeah, exactly. And Ashley is super racist.
Oh my god, yes. Ashley is one of your crew members that you get in the first mission, and she is a super racist.
Yeah, I let her die
Mm-hmm.
just the moment that I could. I mean, Caden wasn't really that interesting. He's the other squad mate you can sacrifice, but I didn't
Yeah.
want the space racist.
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, this is
Sorry.
gonna be
I
spoiler
played this
filled.
game in.
I mean, that's the point of us talking.
I was gonna say it's been over a decade since the game came out.
Yeah, it's been a
so
long time.
Sorry.
I have it on. I bought the remaster or
Yeah,
whatever,
so
but
did
I
I.
haven't touched it.
Ooh, I played all the way through.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I've been playing Final Fantasy 14.
Okay,
But
that's
it's not
fair.
about that. So.
Yeah, the remastered is nice because, like I said, my friend had the 360, which is how I played the first one, and then it became so popular that they released it on the, PC obviously, but like the Xbox and the PlayStation.
Yeah.
So for the Xbox, you got to carry over all of your choices, which is
Right.
like really the big draw of the game. You've got a trilogy where everything you do, I mean, maybe not everything, but there are some really serious moments where like.
There's really granular stuff that it carries over.
Yeah. The big choices, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, so like for me picking up Mass Effect 2, I had to like kind of just choose. Like, there's like a checkbox of like, who did you choose
they made
to
that
die?
comic.
And yeah,
they made like an interactive comic.
Yeah, by
for the
Dark
second one.
Horse, right?
Mhm,
Yeah,
yes.
so that was pretty cool.
But it was only the big choices that you
Yep.
got to decide. You didn't get to choose like the one that because I played the whole series on Xbox. I never would. Weird fact, I won an Xbox in a radio contest.
Oh.
A 360. It's the only thing I've ever won in my entire life.
That's a pretty
and
big
that's
win.
kind of why I played this game, because I got an Xbox 360 and I'm like, what RPGs are on here? And I got Tales of Vesperia and I got Mass Effect.
Because that was basically all the RPGs
That was
in
all
the
the
Xbox.
RPGs, yeah. But yeah, yes, I like that it did carry over really granular choices. There's that one mission in the first game where you have to like fight the evil plant.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And if you save the Asari woman from it, then she comes back in the second game and she's green.
Yeah. I noticed that in my PlayStation 4 playthrough, since I finally got to play all of them in order, and I was like, oh, hello there. And she's actually like helping the colony and everything.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Should we like talk about like what happens in ME1?
Yeah, absolutely. What does happen in ME1?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's really true.
So you
There's
are
some stuff that happens at the beginning and the end.
Yeah, basically, yeah. You're Commander Shepard.
And you're the specialist of the special humans.
You're the greatest Navy officer ever.
And I loved that you could be a man or a woman.
Yes, that was the best thing. And you got to like create your own look, pick your hair color, eye color, all of that. That was still pretty new at the time for like the depth that you could like change your characters.
I mean, coming from only JRPGs, I had been playing as 16-year-old boys forever.
Yeah.
So I was excited to play like a 20-something lady.
Yeah, actually getting to be like, oh, hello, this is a fully developed person.
Right.
And you get to decide if you want to be a paragon or a renegade, which is really exciting. You don't have to be, the shining paladin of hope. Like,
True.
You can be a total hard ass and you can kill people indiscriminately.
People can like look at you wrong and you can push them out the airlock.
Yeah, or punch them.
Yeah. You can punch that reporter.
Yeah, punch a journalist.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically the first game is there's some bad stuff going down. You're sent to investigate because an Earth colony got destroyed.
Yes.
So you're sent to investigate, and you find out that a Spectre named Saren, who Spectres are like I don't know.
They're like super mercenaries.
Yeah.
And they work for the Citadel Council, who's like the intergalactic government.
Yeah, so they get to do whatever they want. So you find out that a Spectre is behind trying to bring about an ancient alien race to destroy the galaxy.
Yes.
As one does.
Right.
So your task is to stop him and assemble a crew to do so. In the process, you get to become the first human Spectre because, again, humans are special.
You're the
Yay.
special. Yeah.
You're the best one.
The best of the best people.
And then, the whole first game is you jumping around different planets trying to figure out the ultimate plan, which eventually leads to you learning about the Reapers.
Yeah.
Basically, space boogeymen who are responsible for destroying the galaxy.
Giant. They look like cuttlefish.
Yeah, they do.
They're like giant ships that look like cuttlefish,
Yep.
and they're going to destroy the whole galaxy.
Yep. And in the process, you get to build up relationships with your crew. In the first game, there's only 3 romance options. Like you mentioned, there's Liara, who's the Asari, the alien lady that she swings both ways. Ooh, boy.
Yeah, because Asari were created just to be like the sexy women of space.
Yep. Which, okay, fair.
Yeah.
And then, you've got your 2 human companions, the guy or the girl, and you got racist and you've got boring.
Racist and boring are good names for your human squad mates.
And then you get to decide, one of them has to die. You get to pick whichever one, and then you can form a relationship with them if you want to, if you've had enough conversations with them, if you've done like their special side missions and all that fun stuff. And
it's mostly about the boning.
I remember watching the news, and there was a whole segment called the sex box.
Yes.
And they were blowing the whole thing out of proportion because you get to see a little bit of butt.
Yeah. You get to see blue.
Like
you get to
butt.
blue alien butt.
Or if you're playing the femshep, you're the butt. And it's
you are. And the side boob.
Butt. Yeah, side boob too. And it's like, oh man. Yeah,
Fox News, they really blew that out of proportion. And that's actually why...
They never do anything like that. It was so surprising.
Yeah. That's why in Mass Effect 2, there's less sexy sex.
Yep.
Because
just
BioWare
more dialogue.
was scared.
It's like more dialogue hinting, but no visual, really. Just a clothes butt. Like in 2, you get Yvonne Strahovski?
Yes, Yvonne Strahovski.
Yeah, you
plays
get her
Miranda,
butt
yes.
everywhere, but it's clothed, so it's fine.
Right, and she wears a lacy black bra
Yes.
under her spacesuit.
So as one does.
She wears the spacesuit that she can rip the top.
A lady has to
off
feel
of-
pretty
off
no
of, and
matter
she has a
what.
lacy black bra.
But yeah, so Emmy 2, after, well, I guess wrapping up Emmy 1, you're trying to tell the council, Reapers are coming to kill us all.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're crazy.
They don't believe you. They
Yeah.
think you're a lunatic.
Yep. And so, but of course, the humans believe you and your team believes you because they've seen it.
Yeah.
But that's about it. So you're kind of on your own.
And then at the beginning of Mass Effect 2, you just die.
Yeah, you just die. And that's the end of Mass Effect 2.
But then you're rebuilt
Yeah, you're rebuilt by
Martin Sheen.
By Martin Sheen as the Elusive Man, which is such a great name.
It is a good name.
It's so good.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, he works for a group that you were actually fighting in the first game that's like pro-human. And
Yeah.
they were like doing experiments on humans and aliens alike, and were constantly like terrorizing alien
Yeah.
planets and stuff. So now you're like, but you're the bad guy, Cerberus. Why should I work for you? And well,
I mean, it's probably because they brought you back to life.
Yeah,
Like,
that's-
what choice do you really have?
it's true. And they believe in the Reapers, so
Yeah,
that's
that's true.
kind of, you're kind of like working with the lesser of two evils
Yeah.
at this point to stop the Reapers.
Mass Effect 2 is my favorite one
Mm-hmm.
because, I mean, I liked the first one, but I really liked the second one because there's so many party members.
Yeah,
and there's
very unique
It's all
party
about,
members.
like, you talk about nothing happened in the first game. Really, nothing happens in the second game except that you meet all these really interesting people.
Yeah, and that definitely fills the gap.
And it
I
felt
mean,
very JRPG to me, like having that off the wall characters.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the second game is you're Jesus, and you're getting your your disciples to follow you to
It
the end.
literally is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
there's-
shepherd. You're
there's 12 of you.
yeah. So yeah, you're space Jesus, which
It was
is
a
always
little
cool.
on the nose, but it was good.
Yeah, so the second one is really cool because it definitely, like, you have a more varied cast of crew members. So you did get, like, the Turian, the Quarian, the Asari. So you did get aliens in your crew in the first one, but this, like, really takes it up, like,
It really does.
expands it. You don't get all your original crew back, which is really interesting. Like, you run into them in different areas, which is nice. Sometimes it's for the best, sometimes it's for the worst, but you get to kind of, like, learn what they're doing on the side while developing new relationships and learning more about, like, all these offshoot, like, races that you just kind of saw hanging out on the Citadel or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you can also, of course, pursue more romance
You can pursue
options.
more
There are so
romance.
many more romance options
There
in this
really
one.
are. There are no new gay romance options, though.
That's true.
That was something
That was-
else they were scared of
Yeah.
because of the sexy sex
Of
stories
course,
they got
of
from the first
course.
game.
So dumb.
Because I always wanted to romance Jack, who
Mm-hmm.
is this woman. She's human, but she's like has tattoos all over her body. She's wearing like a leather belt as a bra.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, she's the, like, most scantily clad one.
She really is.
Like, her nipples are covered by a
But
belt.
she's the least objectified.
Yeah.
because she's
She's
bald.
scary.
She's bald and she has tattoos all
yeah,
over her
and she
body.
doesn't really have a chest
Yeah.
or a butt. So yeah, it's kind
And
of
I
weird.
didn't like her at first, but then she has a really tragic backstory.
Yeah.
And I understood why she was insane.
Yeah, a lot of the characters I was about in the second one. In the third game, they develop further.
They
and I'm
really
like,
do.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
this is cool. It's like a full circle thing. But the best part for me about Mass Effect 2 is that you get to romance your boy Garrus.
That's true. Yeah.
He's my favorite.
I was never super into Garrus. I know I'm in the wide minority
But he's
there.
your bro.
He is your bro.
I mean, I guess at least no matter what, he's your bro.
He really is your bro. I think I was scared of him because he's a bird person, and I'm kind of scared of birds. So
Okay, that's fair.
I liked Thane.
Thane was cool.
Thane's the frogman. He's
Yeah.
the one I romanced because I didn't have any ladies that I could romance as a lady. So I romanced Thane.
He's very tragic too.
He has a really tragic backstory.
He's like the warrior monk.
Yes. He's an assassin, but he prays over the people after he kills them because he's super cool.
Yeah.
And he has a son who's like
A
I didn't know how old he was
dude.
supposed to be because the son looks like he's 25.
Yeah.
But Thane is. So I'm like, am I dating an old man? That would be on brand for me as well.
So, really, it was just the character was developed for you.
And there's a very funny scene where you can ask your Solarians are like the aliens that you see like on the X-Files. They have like the big eyes. and-
Yeah, they're also
I think they're
frog, more like frog.
Yeah.
Well, frogs are reptiles.
They're just like the little gray men or green men that you hear about.
yeah,
on, like, the
yeah.
X-Files.
They definitely just look like the alien.
Yeah. And the Solarian scientist that you have on your ship, whoever you're romancing, he'll give you sex advice.
Yes.
And
The best one.
if you're dating Thane, he basically tells you not to lick Thane because you could have like a hallucination trip.
Yes.
Because it's like licking a frog.
And for Garrus, he's just like chafing.
Yeah.
Just beware of chafing.
Beware of chafing.
Yeah, so that's pretty great.
And doesn't he like discuss Garrus's cloaca with you?
Yep.
So that you know what to expect.
Yeah, it's funny. All of them are really funny. Like, there's compilations on YouTube where he just tells you about everyone. I mean, like, for the Quarian, they're the aliens in the suits who've, like, they live in space now. They lost their home planet. So, like, a tear in their suit could kill them because they're so susceptible to disease. Mm-hmm. So, basically, like, he's just like, you're going to have to get lubed up in antibiotics before you can pursue this. And it's just like, okay, this is great. So yeah, that's very, very entertaining.
This is the main feature of these games.
It really is. It really is. Yeah, because basically at the end of this one, you can decide to destroy there's a human reaper.
There's a human reaper
that's being created. So you can destroy it or you can save it for Cerberus. It doesn't really matter in the end.
It's all about the people. It's all about the people. And in the final mission, you have to make all the right decisions
this is where you can
your
lose
squad doesn't die.
Everyone. Shepard can even die. Yeah. Like, you can lose everybody if you don't plan carefully. If you haven't done, like, the loyalty missions, which is where you can learn more about these characters. It is kind of, I think the annoying part is that it is really just, like, math. Like,
it is math.
They do, like, oh, this character's worth 5 points. This one's worth 4 points. This is worth 2. And if you don't have a high enough score, then
the intention is that you're supposed to know your team to know, like, what they're good at, and you're supposed to send.
But I would always bring Garrus and Grunt, and they're the highest scoring. And so, like, in the end, I had to be like, I guess I'll take Tali and Jack with me.
Right.
And I don't want to fight the final evil with the people I haven't used this whole game.
It worked out for me because I used Tali and Jack for everything.
But, like, I always played the sniper, so I had, like, double sniper team, and then Grunt, who would just, run in. And he's the Krogan.
Yeah, Krogan are the big, they're like the barbarians.
Yeah, they're basically the Klingons of the galaxy. They're so great. So yeah, after you do that, then we go to Mass Effect 3, where it starts on Earth. You've been, what's the word, where you can't get on your ship. You're forced.
You're like grounded.
Yeah, you're being you're grounded. Like, you're being court-martialed or something.
Yes,
because of your work with Cerberus. And then, the Reapers show up. Mm-hmm. So you got to get your crew back together so you can fight the final evil. It does feel very, like, even though there's lots of side missions, it does feel very high stakes just because, like, you constantly get updates from every alien race and every planet about, like, them being destroyed by Reapers. So that's pretty rough to watch. But you get to finally visit a lot of the planets you hadn't of, like, your crewmates. You get most of your original crew back, which is awesome.
Unfortunately, you miss a lot of the Mass Effect 2 people.
Yeah.
You get, like, the Mass Effect 1 people back.
Yeah, you get,
more.
I mean, Garrus and Tali, who've been around for all of them.
They're in the whole game, so that's good.
But yeah, Kaden or Ashley will come back. Liara comes back. You get Freddie Prinze Jr.
I was fixing to say you get Freddie Prinze Jr. Like, currently, you always get Freddie Prinze Jr. in a BioWare game.
Yeah, good for him.
He's, like, attached to the series now. Good for him, for real.
Yeah.
I find him and Sarah Michelle Gellar to be a great power couple.
Yeah, I
think
agree.
They do really well together.
So yeah, the third one is basically just trying to stop the Reapers and, like, realizing, this is a galactic war and kind of facing, like, it's not as fun. Like, even though, like, it was always high stakes, it's definitely much more grim. Like,
it is more grim, and it's more
things,
the series becomes more of just a shooter as it goes on.
Yeah,
and I also think that the second game is kind of peak.
Yeah,
in terms of the gameplay, like, between the RPG aspects and the shooter aspects, and then 3 is just a shooter.
Yeah,
is really just a shooter.
You do get some character interactions, of course. If you're, like, you've been pursuing a romance with certain people throughout the game, you get, like, a really nice, like, final romance scene. Like, you get to hang out, like, with Garrus, like, you hang out on the Citadel, and you do, like, you playfully, like, do sharpshooting while chatting about, like, what's going to happen to us, what's going on in our future. And it's really nice. And you can decide if you want to, like, let him win, like, when you're doing the sharpshooting, or if you're going to kick his ass because, I mean, I would never let him win.
I went back to Liara because that was the only
archaeologist.
lesbian relationship that I could have.
Yeah, they definitely.
Yeah. I mean,
hopefully in future games. I mean, they did expand on it, and, like, BioWare themselves expanded on those relationships in Dragon Age Inquisition, which is nice. So I'm hoping they keep that trend up, and I guess Andromeda, but let's not talk about Andromeda.
That's not a good idea. This is the good trilogy.
Yeah, so
these are the good Mass Effect games. Yeah,
basically, you fight the Reapers, and then in the end, you get to color-coded choice on what you want to do to save the universe, and it's very dissatisfying.
Yeah.
But
It was dissatisfying. I was never totally up in arms about it because I care about the journey more than the
yeah,
destination.
exactly.
But,
I'm the same.
and the journey was great.
What redeemed it for me is the DLC that came out after. The Citadel DLC is the best thing ever. It's so fun. It's where you basically get to like have a party on the Citadel with all your team, and like everyone's just getting drunk and wasted, and you have a clone who's coming after you, but it's like really funny, and everyone's making jokes about like, of course you have a clone, haha, this is so stupid. Like, it's like one of the most basic things, but everyone's just like so on board and making fun of it that it's like,
I liked it. That felt very anime to me.
And Rex comes back.
That.
Rex comes back, and that's the best part, because if I could romance Rex.
Everybody's really into Rex.
Oh, could just headbutting, just constant headbutting. That would be great. But
and they finally had women in the third game too.
Lots of women.
Mass Effect 1, there were no women of any other races except humans, and
true.
that one Quarian.
Yeah, that is true. It was like, hey, you're just yes, you may be playing FemShep, but
there are no other double
true.
X chromosomes.
It's true. Yeah, they definitely expanded.
It was a product of its time.
It really was. Yeah, I mean, that was coming out when like Modern Warfare was like the top selling game.
Yeah,
so.
it was a very bro era of gaming when that was happening, like Gears of War.
Gears of War. Gears of War is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Coltrane.
It's just very bro-tastic.
It is. But sometimes you need those games too. But yeah,
that's true.
So that's like the very quickest synopsis of Mass Effect.
Is.
But really, yeah, I think Russ and I are in agreement. Like it's the characters. Like that's what you play it for. Mm-hmm. And the lore. There's some like really interesting lore, I think.
Yeah, there's good lore. The Reapers have really good voices. I loved that Reaper's voice in the first game when he's like, "Humans are insignificant."
That's pretty good. Was that Sovereign?
Oh,
Sovereign's the first one?
Sovereign was the first one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so good. And then they even do, like, you learn, like, where the Reapers come from in a DLC. And that one's fun. Because they're, like, Cthulian characters. So, it's a lot of good, but definitely do it for the character development.
And it's very Christian, because you play Shepherd.
Again, Space Jesus.
And you play Space Jesus named Shepherd, and you shepherd in a new era of, I mean, you are the Messiah, literally.
Yep.
So if you're a Christian, you'll love it.
Yeah, and for you, since you haven't played the remastered, they did add some extra endings that kind of explain a little bit more.
Fun.
So based on like what color-coded choice you make to save the universe. So that's kind of neat.
Fun to look forward to.
Yeah, they tie it in a little bit. It's nothing like, whoa, but it's a nice little touch.
Put down Final Fantasy 14 long enough to
maybe
go through those. It's really good. I put it on when Jeff and I did our top 5? It was either top 5 or top 10. Top 11. Top 11 it was.
Oh, of course.
Favorite RPGs. I kind of broke a rule, and because I think it was supposed to be JRPGs, but I broke a rule and put Mass Effect 2 on my list.
You're like, I don't care. Because this one's in.
Yeah, it's got to be in.
I mean, like you said, it was the one, like the first one you played after all these JRPGs, so I think it fits.
Yep. Good times. I'm glad that Russ and Rachel got to talk about
Me too.
Mass Effect. And,
I'll always talk about Mass Effect.
And boning frog people and dinosaur people.
I'll always talk about that too.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you next time with Jeff back.